NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal made an unforgettable visit to Emma's lemonade stand, surprising her with a generous tip and words of encouragement. But that was just the beginning. The next day, Shaq returned with an even bigger surprise, a gift that could change Emma's life forever. What started as a simple lemonade stand turned into a moment of dreams and kindness. Was it the chance to meet a basketball legend? Or was there something more that sparked her excitement? Stay tuned as we delve into this heartwarming story and uncover the incredible impact of Shaq's unexpected gesture. The lemonade stand's big break. The air was thick with Georgia heat, and Emma was out on Main Street with her little lemonade stand, waving at passing cars and smiling at the occasional pedestrian. She had a dream and a determination that radiated from her bright blue eyes. Her stand was simple: a folding table her mom had given her, a stack of plastic cups, and a pitcher filled with freshly squeezed lemonade. The hand-painted sign proudly displayed the price: lemonade, $50. Emma had been setting up her lemonade stand every day for the past 2 weeks. For her, it was more than just a way to make some pocket money. Her dad, a mechanic, had recently had his hours cut at work, and her mom, who worked part-time as a nurse, was struggling to pick up enough shifts to make ends meet. But little did Emma know, this simple lemonade stand was about to change her life forever. Stay tuned to find out how. Every dollar Emma earned went straight into a mason jar labeled Family Fund, and it made her feel proud to be helping out in her own small way. Emma could see how hard her parents were working and noticed the stress building up. She'd overhear them late at night, talking quietly in the kitchen about bills and worrying whether they could keep up with everything. She knew she was only 10, but she wanted to make a difference. Every morning, Mrs. Rodriguez, a neighbor, made it a point to stop by Emma's lemonade stand. As she approached, Emma anticipated her usual order, already reaching for a plastic cup to pour her a fresh lemonade. Mrs. Rodriguez handed over her change, complimenting Emma's lemonade as the best in town. Emma beamed with pride, grateful for her neighbor's kind words, and proudly mentioned it was her mom's secret recipe. After Mrs. Rodriguez strolled away, sipping her lemonade, Emma turned to wave at passing cars, considering packing up for the day. Just then, a huge black SUV pulled up in front of her stand. The door opened, and a towering man stepped out, grinning widely. Emma tilted her head, wondering why he looked so familiar, but she couldn't quite place him. He strolled over to her stand with a deep voice and an easy confidence, asking if this was the famous lemonade stand he'd heard about. Before Emma could respond, a couple walking by stopped and gasped, exclaiming that it was Shaquille O'Neal. Confused, Emma furrowed her brow and asked who he was, looking between them and the man, who was now chuckling softly. The couple explained that he was a famous basketball player, super famous, they emphasized. Emma's eyes widened as she looked up at him again, realization dawning. Shaq laughed and extended a hand, introducing himself and telling her to just call him Shaq. Emma shook his hand, still processing, and managed to greet him, stammering slightly. He grinned, mentioning that he could definitely use some lemonade on a day like this, and asked if she had a cup for him. Emma nodded quickly and poured him a tall glass with slightly shaky hands, telling him the price was 50 cents. Reaching into his pocket, Shaq pulled out a crisp $20 bill, handed it to her with a wink, and told her to keep the change. Emma stared at the bill in her hand, hardly believing her luck, and thanked him, her amazement clear in her shining eyes. Leaning on the counter, Shaq asked what had inspired her to start the lemonade stand. Taking a deep breath, Emma explained that her dad's work hours had been cut and her mom was working extra shifts. She wanted to help her family in any way she could, even if it was just making a little money. Shaq's smile softened as he listened, nodding slowly, clearly moved. He told her she had a big heart and was already making a difference. A wave of pride washed over Emma, and she smiled, repeating that she just wanted to help. Then, Shaq crouched down so he was at eye level with her, and asked if she had any dreams of her own. Emma hesitated, then nodded, admitting she had always wanted to be a musician. She dreamed of playing guitar and singing, like the people she saw on TV. But as she looked down at her lemonade stand, she admitted that it felt like a big dream, especially with things being hard right now. Shaq nodded, taking a thoughtful sip of his lemonade. You know, dreams are important. You should never give up on them. She smiled, feeling a spark of hope. Thanks, Shaq. He gave her a warm smile before saying goodbye. And as he drove away, Emma felt like she was on top of the world. She couldn't wait to tell her parents that she had sold a lemonade to Shaquille O'Neal. That evening, she carefully put Shaq's $20 bill in the family fund jar and went to bed feeling happier than she had in a long time. But this was only the beginning of Emma's incredible journey. You won't believe what happened next. Shaq's gift that changed everything. The next morning, Emma set up her stand as usual, but this time something felt different. As the sun rose, people began stopping by her stand in droves. News had spread around town that Shaquille O'Neal himself had bought lemonade from Emma, and now everyone wanted to try Shaq's favorite lemonade. Customers excitedly asked if it was true that Shaq had stopped by, and Emma proudly confirmed, sharing that he'd even given her $20 and encouraged her to follow her dreams. Hearing her story, customers smiled and told her to keep the change, remarking on how special her efforts were. Soon, Emma's lemonade stand was buzzing with activity. People came from all over, and some even took pictures with her, calling it the Shaq lemonade stand. Emma could hardly keep up with the demand, and eventually she had to ask her mom to bring more supplies. Her little family fun jar filled up faster than she'd ever dreamed. Then, just when she thought things couldn't get any better, the same black SUV from the day before pulled up once again. Shaq stepped out, carrying a big box and smiling broadly. Emma's face lit up with excitement as she recognized him. The crowd around them clapped and cheered, and Shaq held out the box to her. Inside, Emma found a beautiful acoustic guitar, a microphone, and even a small amplifier. Her eyes widened with surprise, and she gasped, barely able to hold back her tears. Overcome with gratitude, Emma hugged the guitar and promised herself she would practice every day and make Shaq proud. Shaq then turned to her parents, who were watching with tearful smiles, and handed them an envelope. Emma's mom opened it, and a gasp escaped her as she took in what was inside. They thanked Shaq, their voices choked with emotion, and her dad shook his hand, eyes full of gratitude. Shaq then turned to the crowd, raising his voice. You know, moments like these remind us that the little things we do can make a big difference. We all have the power to support young people, to believe in their dreams, and to lend a helping hand. The crowd clapped, some people wiping away tears. It was a beautiful moment, and Emma felt her heart swell with happiness. That evening, Emma's lemonade stand felt like a festival. People lingered to chat, share stories, and soak up the excitement. Emma proudly showed off her guitar to anyone who asked, her smile never fading. Her parents watched from the sidelines, grateful and overwhelmed by the outpouring of support from their community. Emma's friends came by too, excitedly congratulating her on the Shaq miracle. They took turns strumming the guitar and laughing together, feeling like they were part of something special. Emma's mom hugged her as the sun began to set, whispering, "You've done so much, Emma. We're so proud of you." Emma hugged her mom back, feeling like her heart might burst with joy. She had started this lemonade stand to help her family, but it had turned into something so much bigger. A moment of kindness, a reminder of the power of community, and a stepping stone to her dreams. As the last customers waved goodbye, Emma looked around at her empty lemonade stand, the guitar resting in her lap, and her parents beside her. She felt a sense of peace, knowing she was exactly where she was meant to be. From that day on, Emma's lemonade stand continued to attract people, not just for the lemonade, but for the story that had touched everyone's heart. And every day, she kept practicing her guitar, playing for herself, her family, and for Shaq. As the days went by, Emma's lemonade stand continued to be the talk of the town. It wasn't just a place to grab a drink. It had become a symbol of hope and kindness. Locals came not only to buy lemonade, but to hear Emma play her guitar and sing a few songs she'd been practicing. She'd play simple tunes, a little nervous at first, but soon her fingers grew more confident and her voice grew stronger with each passing day. Stay tuned to see the incredible twist that made Emma's lemonade stand legendary, a song of gratitude. One Saturday, Emma spotted her friend Sophie, who lived down the street, approaching with her little brother Danny, who was about 5 years old. Danny's eyes lit up when he saw Emma holding her guitar. "Emma! Emma!" he cried, running up to her stand. "Will you play the song with the la-la-las?" Emma laughed, smiling down at him. She'd written a short song with a catchy la-la-la chorus that Danny adored. "Of course, Danny." She handed Sophie a lemonade and strummed her guitar, singing and filling the air with happy la-la-las. Danny clapped along, and the crowd that had gathered joined in, smiling and laughing. After the song, Sophie handed Emma a couple of quarters. "Danny's been talking about your song all week," she said. "You're like a celebrity around here." Emma laughed, feeling a warmth fill her heart. "I'm glad you guys like it. It's just a fun song." Sophie grinned. "It's more than that, Emma. You bring everyone together. You make people happy." Emma looked around, seeing familiar faces from all over town, smiling, laughing, and enjoying the lemonade stand's lively atmosphere. She realized Sophie was right. It wasn't just about the lemonade. It was about creating a space where people felt connected and uplifted. One afternoon, as the crowd began to thin, Emma noticed Mr. Thompson, the owner of the local music shop, walking toward her stand. An older man with a kind face and white hair that stuck out in every direction. He was known for his suspenders and his soft spot for the kids in town. He greeted her warmly, mentioning that he'd heard she was quite the musician now, and asking if he could stay for a song. Emma blushed but gladly agreed, feeling honored by his interest. She picked up her guitar and began to strum the chords of her favorite song. As she sang, she noticed Mr. Thompson watching her intently, nodding along with the rhythm. When she finished, he clapped and gave her a proud smile. Mr. Thompson praised her, telling her she had a natural gift for connecting with people through music, something rare and special. Emma felt a surge of happiness and replied that she was simply doing her best. With a chuckle, Mr. Thompson assured her that she was doing far more than that. He told her that if she ever needed help with her music, whether learning new songs or picking up tips on playing, she was always welcome at his shop, where he'd be happy to assist however he could. Emma's eyes lit up with excitement and gratitude. She thanked him wholeheartedly, thrilled by the offer. Mr. Thompson smiled, giving her a gentle pat on the shoulder before heading off, promising to see her soon. After he left, Emma's heart soared. Not only had she made new friends and brought the town together, but she now had someone willing to help her along her musical journey. The support she was receiving filled her with gratitude and encouraged her to keep going. But wait, there's more to this amazing story. Stay tuned to find out what happens next. One evening, as Emma was packing up her lemonade stand, she sat with her guitar, reflecting on everything Shaq had done for her. She had so much she wanted to say to him, but didn't quite know how. As she strummed her guitar, the words began to flow, and before she knew it, she was writing a song. The song was simple, yet filled with heartfelt emotion. It was about kindness, dreams, and gratitude for the people who helped along the way. She titled it, "Thank You." The next day, as people gathered at her lemonade stand, Emma picked up her guitar and shared her new song. She sang with all her heart, pouring her gratitude into each note. When she finished, the crowd erupted into applause. Someone in the crowd called out that she should send the song to Shaq. Emma laughed, feeling a little shy, and playfully said she might one day. Later that evening, Emma's parents surprised her with a small celebration at her stand. They brought homemade cookies, candles, and a banner that read, "We're proud of you, Emma." Emma's heart swelled as her family and neighbors gathered around, each holding a cup of lemonade and a cookie. Her mom wrapped an arm around her, smiling. She told Emma she had done something amazing, not just by helping the family, but also by bringing the town together and sharing her music. They were so proud of her. Her dad nodded, his eyes glistening a little, and added that it wasn't just about the money. It was the way she had brought hope and joy to everyone. That, he said, was worth more than anything. Emma hugged them tightly, overwhelmed with love and gratitude, and softly told them that she couldn't have done it without their belief in her. The crowd clapped and cheered, and someone called out for Emma to give a speech. Laughing, she stepped up to her stand with her guitar in hand. She looked around at the familiar faces, the friends and neighbors who had supported her from the beginning. She thanked everyone who had come by, bought lemonade, and cheered her on. She explained that she had started the stand to help her family, but it had turned into something much more meaningful than she could have imagined. She also thanked Shaq, wherever he was, for believing in her and showing her that dreams could come true. Emma strummed her guitar and played "Thank You" one more time. The crowd joined in, singing along in a beautiful chorus that filled the summer air. As the last notes faded, Emma looked around at the scene, her parents by her side, her friends cheering, and the entire community standing together. It was a moment she would treasure forever. Emma continued her lemonade stand throughout the summer, each day bringing new faces, new friends, and laughter. Though she didn't know what the future held, she knew one thing for certain. No matter where her dreams took her, she would always remember the kindness and support she had found right there on Main Street, where it had all begun. What are your thoughts on how Emma's lemonade stand became more than just a way to help her family, but also a platform for spreading kindness and connecting her community? Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the following video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.